I was going to say was, this is the flower in the immediate foreground, which I've actually just drawn in, and I've done a little bit of the edge of the vase. Um, there's too much here. I'm not going to be able to do all of it because it won't fit on my paper. But I think I can probably get two big flower heads and some of the stuff that's behind them in here, and possibly the top of this other big one here, which I'm seeing on its side. So I think look carefully at your subject. If you feel you can get it all onto your page, then that's fine. Just bear in mind, pastels are a big medium, so you can't work with them like you can with a pencil. They're similar to charcoal. I mean, I find my pastels are really quite chunky. I mean, look, this is my pinky color one. It's really quite fat. So when I'm using it, I find an edge and I work on an edge. So I'm just going to show you, first of all, just one or two things on the page. So I think when I would draw anything, whatever it is, and you're not going to be able to see this very well because this metal, say, I would just outline the shapes with white chalk, which you can always knock back afterwards. And then, you know, once you've got your form actually on the page, whatever it is, I mean, this is my peony shape. This is probably how I started. I then took the pastel and I literally used it on its side very lightly and then softened it in with my finger like that. Now, if you go at it too heavily, you'll end up putting too much color on the page, and you might want to mix it with some white so you can overlay white over the top of the pink, or you can use another color depending on what you actually have available. I use a bit of red too, so I'm actually mixing my colors on the paper rather than as you would in a palette. You're mixing them physically on here. And with pastels, the way to achieve these sort of subtle changes in color across a form is by overlaying one color on top of the other. So that is worth bearing in mind. When you're doing, if you've got greens, again, it depends on what you've got in your box or your wherever. I actually have got quite a nice green here, but when I look at it on its own, it's sort of a kind of chemical green. It's not really what I'm observing here in nature. So I actually put some yellow or white over the top of it to sort of soften that kind of rather artificial look that the pastel has, you know, if you just use it by itself. Okay, and bear in mind there are many ways of coming at green. I mean, if you have a yellow, that's quite nice. You can just put some yellow down first. You can put a bit of white to mix with it, just so you can see it. And then you could put a bit of blue over the top if you've got blue. This one doesn't seem to be working very well. Yeah, it's more of a purple, and it's making it go a bit grey. So I think it's important you have a piece of paper that you can try your pastels out on before you actually apply them onto the piece itself. I would do a little bit of experimenting like I've done here, you know, with the colours you've got, looking at the subject you have. The pastels will never give you that kind of lovely soft transparency that you would get with watercolor, but you can, you know, they are very nice to use, and it's a nice extension of charcoal and white chalk, which is why I'm suggesting using them this evening. If you have only got charcoal and white chalk, well, that also will be absolutely fine. What we're doing is, with this exercise, is looking at composition and shape, and establishing the forms well on the paper. Now, I did say backlight them if you're subject is backlit like mine, that's fine. At the moment, it's not making a huge amount of difference because it's still, there isn't strong sunlight out there, thank God. It's quite a sort of soft light. So I'm just going to work with what I've got. Obviously, the greenery will give these light, soft, pastel-y flowers. You'll be able to read them better. So that's, you don't go putting hard, dark outlines around soft pink flowers. Use the foliage behind it so that you can actually see it. So with this one here, this carnation, there's a stem coming up behind here, which will help. And there's some more leaves and another flower. So once I begin to get those in, this very soft pastel pink carnation will show up better. At the moment, you probably can't see it very well. So first of all, I would, as I say, get your white chalk and draw the shapes that you feel you can cope with this evening. And those of you that are not here very long, even if you do one flower, that will be fine. And then you can work on your own in the, hopefully in the week and do some more. Do include a little bit of your vase shape so it gives it some sort of context. You don't need the whole vase or the whole flower pot, you just need a little bit. The bottom of my page is here, so I'm definitely not going to put the whole vase in, but I am going to show some of the stems because I think the stems are rather interesting when you see them through water. So I will begin to put some of those in as well. Is that all right to start off with? Can you all get going, please? And